How many of us go exploring anymore? Especially if you're a tourist here in Japan, or maybe if you're someone even in Japan that's going to a different country, if you're going on vacation or a business trip. How much do you just leave to pure exploring, and how much do you plan and navigate everything? I'm just curious. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Kim, and it is a Saturday, a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Lately, one thing I've been noticing on my YouTube homepage and my Instagram timeline and even my TikTok timeline are the number of videos that have recommendations or places that you need to go, or don't go to Japan without doing this. 5 must visit restaurants. And I have to admit, I'm guilty of putting recommendations or letting everybody know, hey, this is a really good place to eat, or if you like such and such a food, go visit here. If you're interested in this, do this. I think we all tend to access the internet or look on our social media feeds to get recommendations for where to go, where to eat, what to buy, what to do. But how many of you actually go somewhere, even if it's in your hometown or your neighborhood where you currently live, and just explore? Like, no plan, just explore. Today, I had a car appointment. I had to get my annual vehicle inspection. I wasn't sure where I wanted to eat lunch or what I was going to do afterwards, but I did want to just take some time for me, relax my head a little bit after this week's work stress. I just wanted to enjoy whatever I chose to do, but I didn't have a plan. I got in my car, and in my head I thought, maybe I'll go eat at this place. As I started heading there was a little bit of traffic. I started thinking, I have a feeling there's going to be a line. Maybe I'll go somewhere a little bit closer to where I live. So I changed my route. Then I started thinking again, I don't know. I can eat there anytime. So maybe I'll just drive and see if I can find a place. And that's what I did. Back when I first came to Japan in 1988, I was assigned to Tottori Prefecture, which was a very rural area. We didn't have social media. We didn't have the internet. We didn't even really have guidebooks that had anything listed about Tottori. Sure, if you bought a guidebook at the bookstore, or you even checked in encyclopedias, which I don't know if they really have anymore or if people use them anymore, or even if you asked people, there wasn't a whole lot of information, directions, information about different places that you go to. Nowadays, because of social media, I feel like a lot of people rely on other people's recommendations or what other people think in order to decide where to go to eat, where to get this particular food at this particular location, which places are the cheapest, which places can handle dietary restrictions or allergies, all that stuff, right? But we didn't have that back then. When I think about it, I kind of think that's maybe, I don't want to say a dying skill, but when I think back, I think about how valuable it is to just leave some things to chance and just discover places on your own. I know there's a lot of YouTube channels that will say, this is a hidden gem. Well, obviously, if you're going to start promoting it, it might not be a hidden gem anymore. But at the same time, you don't want to keep it all to yourself, because, of course, you want to drum up business for this shop or you want to give them good reviews so that many other people can experience the joy of this particular place, the same joy that you did, right? So it's sort of I don't know, I can't really decide what the best course of action to take is, but I do think having I guess, the adventurous spirit to go out on your own and discover places that aren't in guidebooks or aren't on YouTube channels or maybe aren't even shared with everybody in the world except maybe through word of mouth or when you take someone there or when somebody takes you to a place. I think that's kind of an experience to treasure because it's something that, right, you found on your own, whether it's a good place or whether maybe you go there and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm never going there again. I just think it's something I would like to continue to do, even at this age, even though I've been living in Japan for 37 plus years. I still like going someplace I have no idea where I am and just exploring. Now, I think I've always had this in me to explore different places and walk around and find something, but I always did choose safe elements. There are people that are far more braver than me that go on these hikes or go adventure the unbeaten path, so to speak. I'm talking more for my comfort zone, going to a new shopping mall or going to a new shopping district or just driving down an unfamiliar street that is safe. You always hear those stories, right? I don't take the back alleys when I'm by myself, especially at night. However, I do feel comfortable exploring places in the afternoon or trying a new restaurant that maybe I haven't seen on the internet or on somebody else's feed. I decided to go to a neighborhood that is really close to where I live. In fact, it's where my original realtor's office used to be. They have since moved to a different office, but yeah, I went to this area. I had to figure out where to park, found a parking area, got out of my car, and just went to a random family restaurant. I had a really good pizza, salad, was going to get dessert, but I decided not to. Then did a little shopping in the shopping area. I have been to this shopping area in Aobadai Station before, so I was familiar with it. I have shopped there before, but I just don't normally go there because I don't think the parking is as convenient as other shopping areas. But I wanted to go to some place in particular that I knew existed, but I haven't really been there for, I don't know, years. There is the giant Itoya in Ginza, the 12-story Itoya that everybody goes to. But this particular shopping center has a 1-story Itoya with almost the same goods, maybe not to the extent that the flagship store has. But still, it's a stationery store, and I could spend hours in a stationery store. So I went there. Believe it or not, I did not buy anything there. I just looked. I got some ideas of things that I want to do, things that I want to work on, and that was enough. Sorry, that noise you hear is Bandit jumping into his little house. When I was driving back and I was thinking more about this exploring concept, when you watch travel vlogs these days, it's pretty much everyone going to the same places or eating. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sorry, Ben. Did you just tumble? Did you just tumble? It's pretty much everybody going to the same places or eating the same types of food or trying the same things. I think I know if I had to write a book on all the places to go to in Tokyo or in Japan, I think I could do it without even having been there myself because you just see them so often. I was thinking maybe I need to write down more places that I just go, in my normal life. I don't know whether or not that would be interesting or whether that would be like, God, this girl, she doesn't know how to recommend things. Because when you think about it, when you live here, you can go to some of these really hyped up places anytime. So it's not that big of a deal, if that makes sense. And then you go to your normal hangout places or the places you know that are cheap or the places you like that serve this particular food. But it wouldn't be something you would recommend because you know it's not considered cream of the crop or people that are pure matcha connoisseurs or sushi experts would recommend. Do you know what I'm saying? So I almost feel like if you want the budget friendly, non crowded places that people like me go to, of course I'd be willing to recommend them. And maybe that's why some of the things in my videos that I put are places that people probably won't flock to that much because it's either someplace that hasn't been hyped before or places that not a whole lot of people go to. Whenever I go out, I also usually just take a record of the drinks that I do for the day. So in a future video, you might see the drinks I have for the road because there's a lot of places I go to and I get really delicious drinks that are delicious to me. And maybe that's all that matters. Maybe that's why I enjoy exploring and trying these places that nobody's heard of or that don't get the publicity, but they're places I like. So I guess that's all that matters, right? If it's a place that you go to or that you discover, I sort of feel like maybe in this day and age, travel vloggers or people that vlog about Japan have to say, oh, try this or do this. Back in the day when we didn't have that, it was kind of fun because everything was hit or miss. You really didn't know what type of experience you were going to have. I don't know if I've shared this story before, but there was this place in Tottori Prefecture, in Tottori City called the Big Onion. It was one of our local hangouts because they in Japan they call like the manager the master. So the master of that place was very foreigner friendly, always welcoming us, always giving us the VIP treatment. It was right down the street from one of the apartments that I had lived in. It was a popular place to go for dinner parties or with a group of friends. I had went with one of my teacher besties back in the day who is still here. He's my Scorpio soulmate. I think in our past lives we were twins. So yeah, so we went to this place called the Big Onion and he had heard that there were ribs. So the waitress came and asked us, what would you like? And we're like, oh, ribs. Because a lot of English words sometimes are turned into what we call katakana English. So it's pronouncing the English word in syllables. So it sounds Japanese. So we were saying like ribs, and pointing here. I now know from teaching English, third grade English, rib is a vocabulary word because it's a short I sound and it's a CVC pattern, consonant, vowel, consonant. You're getting a little teacher talk here. And so usually when we introduce a new word, do you have your lamb chop? This is his way of saying, stop talking, Mom. So yeah, usually we say, how do we say this word in Japanese? So I found out the word for rib is abarabone. Hone hone is the word in Japanese for bone. So I hope I'm saying that right. Abarabone. Abarabone. Yeah, because even though it's hone, they don't say abarahone. They put a B with it, abarabone. So I used to make up this song. Oh my God, I'm embarrassing myself now, but I like making up jingles or ways for the students to remember things so that it's easy for them to remember. So I used to do this dance and go, about a bone, about a bone, about a bone, rib, 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 about a bone, right? Just because it was fun to say about a bone. And then they do the rib, rib, rib. So it's getting it, repetition into the brain. All right. Teacher talk. Maybe my fellow teachers will understand, I hope. Anyways, yeah, so I didn't know how to say abarabone at the time, so we were just going ribs, ribs. So she was like, she didn't know. She was getting a little bit worried because she couldn't communicate, and we were getting a little embarrassed because we kept saying we knew the word for meat was niku, so we're like niku, niku, and yeah, it wasn't making any sense to her. And then we thought, maybe we had never seen ribs at any place, like spare ribs. So we thought maybe it's not a thing here in Japan. So we said, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So my friend said, well, let's just get the menu and just point to something. So, all right, okay, I'll have this. And then Mark goes like, okay, I'll have this. I wonder what we're going to get. Because that's pretty risky, right? You have no idea, but we couldn't read Japanese. There was no pictures on the menu. There was no plastic food. It was just pure chance. What are we going to get? If I remember correctly, because I don't really remember what I got, but it was something substantial, like either chicken or some kind of meat. I did get something that would be a meal. When Mark got his food, it was a plate of cheese and crackers. We couldn't stop laughing because, okay, we didn't get the ribs, but we did get whatever I got, and he got a plate of cheese and crackers. But those are the kind of experiences that you can laugh about and you remember. And then okay, next time we need to look this up, or we need to draw a picture or do something. Most places in Japan have picture menus. Nowadays, a lot of Japanese places have English on the menu. A lot of places have plastic food displays on the outside. And you can just take a photo of it, right? We used to have to write it down or kind of figure out how to describe it. Sometimes they'd have a number, but God, people nowadays have it so easy. Take the photo, show the waitress, this is what I want. A lot of places nowadays have iPads to order, or you use a QR code. And when you get the menu, you can translate it into whatever language that is comfortable for you. So easy. You don't have to do like what we did and maybe spend your money on something you didn't want. If you went to a place, just, okay, nobody's here, maybe let's try this place, and you go in and it wasn't good, you didn't have to waste your money. Nowadays, you can look at all these content creators and find a place and say, okay, we need about this money, they accept credit cards, blah, 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 and everything's all done for you. I guess that's a safe way, and I guess, right, when you're on vacation, you don't really want to take any chances, but I don't know. I guess I kind of always like the surprise element, or the let's discover this place. I'm not saying social media is bad. Honestly, it's helped all of us discover amazing places. But maybe every once in a while, we should leave a little room for surprise. Walk down a side street. Try the place with no viral video. Order something we've never heard of before. Sometimes the best memories come from not knowing exactly what's going to happen. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.